Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 532. Yes, GTA 5 is fucking popular. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsett.
Ahoy.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Yeah, I just had to start off with that. 140 million copies sold of GTA 5. They had their best year since 2013, last year, of selling their game. Like, it didn't even make their lists. That's how good these other games must have sold to keep it off the top 10, because we haven't talked about it. The games that shall not be spoken
for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Take-Two took off the digital sales from the MPD, so there was a lot that we weren't seeing. Just kind of like how Nintendo, we don't get the digital numbers from Nintendo.
I mean, I don't even blame them. They're re-releasing it on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I don't even blame them. Like, you can't argue with that. Like, absolutely, it's another untapped market. They're selling so many, 140 million copies of GTA 5 since 2013.
Yep.
So, insane.
It's just default video game for many people.
And yeah, it's like Madden, right? It's just like you pick that up, you pick up Madden or whatever, or NBA, or you know what I mean? Like, that's it.
I don't think Madden's like that anymore. Like,
you're right. Call of Duty. It's like Call of Duty or GTA. Which one are you getting with your system?
Both.
There you go.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Both, yeah. So, all right, guys. Welcome to 532 of the Gamecast listeners and viewers. I don't know. I just had to start off with that tidbit of news because it's just like, that's me, guys. You know, I talk about it. I hate to talk about it, but got to give it props. That was hell of a numbers. So, let's kick off though with what we've been up to. I finally got to sit down finally and get back to Yakuza Like a Dragon. And man, game is like just so awesomely bizarre that it's so fun. Like, I got to change job classes now, so that when I go into battle, I'm no longer wearing my business outfit, like my Yakuza outfit, the official thing. Now I'm wearing knight armor, and it's like not in the game though. When you walk around the streets, you're a normal dude, but like I told you guys, when he goes into combat mode, it's like he's imagining what do you call it? The
Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest, yeah. He's just imagining it as that. So you're seeing the villains turn into, like, I was fighting glow stick kids. I'm not even kidding you. They were glow stick kids, and they were hitting us with. They were doing the glow stick twirls. I was like, oh my god. And my one character's an idol singer. The other guy's a hippie musician now, and they all dress like they turn into these characters when you go into combat. It's just hilarious, like off the wall shit. It's so fun. Like, quick side mission. I got to tell you the story of a side mission. Like, I just did a crawfish side mission. You see this crawfish on the side of the street, and you think it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to help you get back in the water. So you throw it as hard as you can into the water, and some guy runs up, no, that was my pet. And you feel so bad that you're like, okay, I'm going to go get it for you. So you go and find the crawfish, bring it back to him, and he goes to stab it like he's going to eat the thing. He's like, oh, good, I've raised this to eat it. And you're like, whoa. So you have to get him like the sushi set or whatever like that. And at the end of the thing, you go back and you save the crawfish, and it becomes a summon for you in combat later to fight for you. So this is the kind of side mission you just have in this game.
Nice.
So yeah,
it's good to hear. It's good to hear that the game is fun, and I look forward to it. It just seems inevitable it's going to hit Game Pass.
Absolutely.
This year.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I'll play it there. It's interesting though because like, Nagoshi, who's the director of the Yakuza series, that like what really put him on the map. He actually just got demoted at Sega as part of a management restructure.
Really?
So he was the chief creative officer previously, and now he's just a creative director, which is still good, but it's definitely a step down. And I can't help but wonder. To one of Mike's recurring questions is where's Sonic Mania 2 and stuff like that, because I just feel like the past generation for Sega has just kind of been mostly negative rather than positive in terms of like you're seeing like we could take a look at all these other companies, Japanese companies like Namco, Square Enix, Capcom. They've had resurgences of all their classic IPs. All their classic IPs. Capcom, going out, like everybody's horny for Resident Evil right now, and you look at that. You look at Namco, like literally. Namco brought back Soul Calibur, Ace Combat, all that stuff, and it's like you look at fucking Sega, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, honestly, what the fuck are you guys doing?
It's funny because you could say Yakuza is seeing its biggest wave of popularity ever right now, but Sonic, they fucked up again. Like, Mania gave them a chance to have a Sonic resurgence. Like
and the
right
movie.
now,
and a good movie
for sure. But for whatever reason, and again, there's rumors that Sonic Team was pissed off that Christian Whitehead and all these, basically, they were like modders or whatever, took their property and did it better, and everyone liked it more, and then that was the end of it. I don't know if that's true, but there's no Sonic Mania 2, and it's been.
And it's crazy because they gave them the opportunity to make that game. Like, oh yeah, you guys can do this, and like we'll get it out there for you and everything. And then
because
like,
people generally really like Sonic Mania, and then the Sonic Forces game also came out, and people generally didn't care for that game. So it's a big contrast, and now they don't know what they're doing. But no, they could have had that resurgence right now. That's the problem. That's what's kind of annoying about it.
Yeah, just to, I know we need to get into the rest of what we've been up to, but just I thought that was a good segue into conversation about Sega, just because, like, again, this is one of those things where you look at Sega, and, again, I was always more of a Nintendo guy, but, like, the thing is, like, Sega still, to me was an important part, just even, like, the rivalry and, like, the stuff that Nintendo didn't do. So it's just, like, it's super disappointing. I'm glad the Yakuza series is there, don't get me wrong.
Did you say it does what Nintendo?
Yeah, exactly. No, I was like trying to get that point across.
I got you.
I'd really like them, especially hearing you talk about like this iteration of Yakuza being just so out there and weirdness and stuff. Like, I need that from Sega. Crazy. Like, I need more of that from Sega. Like, where's the Space Channel 5? Where's aside from Sonic, where's all this other stuff? Like, they released a new like Sakura Wars game, which used to be super popular in Japan, but then they released it only on like PlayStation 4, and it came out over here and like didn't do anything. And just like, why? Like, why would you miss a big JRPG platform like the Switch? Like, it just didn't make sense. Because it's not like it's a graphically demanding game. You look at that and you're like, yeah, whatever, So that's anyway.
Yeah. So that's really all I played though. So that's it for me. Mike, you haven't been around 2 weeks. What have you been playing?
On a related note, I've started Yakuza 3 Remastered, but also, and I'm doing this somewhat semi-unintentionally, but meanwhile, I've also kind of fell back into just cleaning up stuff in Cyberpunk, which is, I don't want to do two games like that at the same time, but that's just kind of how it happened. Although I'm not really doing anything like very like long sweeping stories in Cyberpunk, because that's all done. I'm just like finding quick side stuff to do. But and part of it is that Yakuza Remastered, Yakuza 3, it does feel pretty dated playing it. But it's not in the way I thought. I expected it to be dated in that like there was less like stuff to do in it. It's not that. It has lots of side activities. It has what looks like sort of like a job side story as well. But what it is dated in is, it's not even graphically that bad. It's not great looking by any stretch, but it's tolerable. But the controls and like the upgrade system, and like it's just not great. And it's definitely. And then apparently this game came out in 2009, and so it's even dated for then a little bit, because that's like, Batman Arkham City was out then, like, and this is just not in that league. But we'll see how it goes. The story is still kind of interesting, although I have to sort of adjust because some of the character models look a little different than of the same characters than what they were in the Kiwami version, which chronologically in the story took place beforehand. But we'll see how it goes. But it's definitely a little bit of a shock to sort of go backwards a bit with how like the fighting mechanics are so much, but it's still solid. I just I'm trying to decide how much time I want to spend on it, or if I'm just going to rush through it and get to like 4 or 5, 6, and, go from there. But yeah, it's still Yakuza. It's still fun.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right, Corey.
I really haven't played much this week. Just some board games.
Yep. We watched the Super Bowl. Yeah,
Oh,
Super Bowl.
yeah.
Sorry, that was what we do in the Shadows reference with Super Bowl. Tony, anything for you?
Just more Final Fantasy. I just beat the latest expansion, like the base game, which was phenomenal. Like absolutely 100%. It is a shame that it's an MMO, like locked behind being an MMO. But like I said, they tried everything in their power to make it so that if you just wanted a single player experience, you don't have to really interact with other people at all. And it's really cool. Honestly, just one of those things that I'm like, man, just seeing where that game came from, because I know, back on this podcast, we used to slam that like all the time, the original, and just seeing where it is now, and just it's so awesome. Coincidentally, they had a online presentation on Friday detailing the next expansion that's coming out this fall for its, I believe, 10th year anniversary or whatever like that. And I'm just like, damn, that's crazy to think about and stuff like that. And they're like, and it's going to bring a conclusion to this chapter of the story, because despite it being out for 10 years, it covers like only one saga, I guess, which would be the equivalent of like, the Skywalker saga or whatever like that. So really exciting, really interested in finally being a part of like that community now. And I see why everybody loves it so much now. So it's just super awesome.
Cool. All right. That's pretty much it for what I've been up to. Let's get into some news. Kick it off with, well, let's see. I think, how about we kick it off with a rumor? Not even a rumor. It's already been posted. Halo Master Chief Collection coming to a new platform. I mean, the way they worded it, it clearly says play it a new way.
Not just backwards compatible type of thing?
No, I honestly, the way it's worded, I could see it being on the Switch. I don't know why, I'm just thinking Switch.
It's weird because this rumor was around like a year or two ago, where they were like, yeah, Halo's going to come to Switch via Master Chief Collection. And for some reason, it just died out, even though there was just more games from Microsoft being ported over to Switch, like Ori and Cuphead and stuff like that. And it just died out. So I'm not sure if maybe just there's some difficulty with it. Maybe this will be one of those Switch Pro exclusive games or something like that. I don't know.
Difficulty? They couldn't even get it to run on their own system.
I know.
Yes, it's true. It took them the long enough time, but I don't know. Like, I mean, the wording is a new place and a new way to play, which would on the go or docked. Yeah, I just see it being Switch. Like, I'm sorry, just do it.
I mean, that makes the most amount of sense, but I could also see them being like coming to xCloud or whatever like that. Yeah, I'm not sure if it is or not, but like,
it is one of the.
That's the most non-surprise tease they could do. Yeah. It's like, oh, it's on xCloud now or whatever the fuck they call their platform. It's like, shrug. Like everybody expected that. That's not interesting. It's not fun.
No.
Yeah. If it was like, hey, it's coming to Switch and you could play like local like multiplayer, that would be cool. Like that would be cool. But let's see.
Yeah. Let's see. We talked about EA last week. I don't think we did. EA making $3 billion from Star Wars games. We talked about it being like coming out with other companies now. But EA made a shit ton of money in Star Wars games.
It did.
That was reported last week. $3 billion. Over $3 billion. That's, I mean, we talked about how much they let that property just die and didn't make much.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if they had released even more games.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy to think about that, really.
I mean, the thing is, like, despite all the shit with Battlefront 2, I mean, it still did well, in spite of everything. Like that's the power of the brand. In spite of all the issues that game launched with, it was still super popular. They supported it, and stuff like that. And those microtransactions, will make money. There's tons of people out there who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
there's more of them, honestly, than there.
Exactly. So good on them. Maybe just let's make some other games. And they're 2 in a row right now. So I'm hoping, we get another one soon.
Yeah. Borderlands developer Gearbox bought out for $1.3 billion.
That's crazy to me.
Pitchford remains CEO.
I wonder what kind of magic trick he pulled to still be CEO.
I don't know. But how do you make? Yeah, you make that kind of money from was it THQ Nordic, right? Yeah. Embracer Group, yeah, formerly known as THQ Nordic, Borderlands developer, Gearbox Software. I didn't even know they had that kind of money to buy this. That's a lot of money for Randy Pitchford to make.
Yep.
That is crazy. So, yeah.
I just don't see how they're worth that much, though.
I don't see it either. That's a shit ton of money for that group.
Because, that's a lot of Borderlands. And that's, unfortunately, the thing. They only really do Borderlands, right?
Well, they're their publisher, too. So they
Right.
Things. And
but,
they have
the last thing they did
Homeworld. They have God's Fall or something. Or
yeah, they have the Aliens game.
Yeah.
They, mostly, Borderlands is a huge property, though. It's it is gigantic.
Yeah.
For $1.2 billion?
They haven't been doing too much.
Movie, boosting the IP.
Yeah, that movie deal, man.
Yeah, could be that.
You're right.
Could be that. Stadia last week we talked about. Actually, it was a podcast title last week. Terraria creator cancels Stadia release after Google locks his account. I don't even know the drama for this whole thing after this point, but I'm like, that is absurd by itself. I guess he has emailed them multiple times with no response, so he just decided to cancel the port.
That's hilarious to me. Absolutely, positively hilarious.
I guess it's like burn the bridge, just burn it down. Close your studio, let's burn it all. Yep, burn it all down. So Terraria is not coming to Stadia for those who still have that. If you're still paying for that, let's get out. Get out. And last bit of news, I thought we'd leave this one for the end. E3 2021 will have a digital event planned for June. Do we care? Is this relevant? Is this
not to me?
What are you doing for this? How do you do E3 digital?
Same way you do anything else now.
No, but it's about the interactions at individual meetings and also playing early demos of games. It's about that.
This is what I've been saying. Every company does their own thing now. Every single company.
No, I know. I got you.
Unless they're indie or just above indie. Any AAA publisher, they already do their own thing.
They do, and you gotta wonder. They were talking about a couple studios were going to build demos for E3. So do they mail them to people to play during a Zoom session? I don't know what that's not planning.
Don't be PC download shit again.
Yeah.
I think E3 is definitely helped the smaller companies more, just to get the networking and stuff like that, and you don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But now, there's just giant companies just doing their own thing. It doesn't have the draw, so it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of the what's going on with the combine right now with NFL. Because I'm so into NFL stuff right now, but
your team gets a good pick. You're gonna watch that stuff. But I don't know. I'm shocked to. They were close to folding anyways, but they're gonna try. This is it. This is their last hurrah. This digital only event doesn't generate any kind of hype.
Here's the thing, though. There's there's got to be very little expense this time. Because of that, they're not renting anything out too much.
I disagree. I think it still costs them money. DC spent a shit ton of money for that DC show we watched. Remember that one earlier in the last year?
Sure. They also got a bunch of actors to show up in a specific place for that too.
Yeah. But you're going to get that with E3 though.
I'm not sure.
You're making these studios show up exactly when your E3 is scheduled, so you're scheduling them for that.
Yeah, I get it, but it's got to be a fraction of the expense of a physical thing.
I don't know, man. I think the thing is with E3, it used to be you paid E3 to be there. Now it's E3 needs to pay you to be there.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's true. I don't know.
I like the idea of it still being a coordinated time, but what's keeping them there?
You have the Game Awards now, so it's just...
that's the other.
We'll premiere that stuff there.
It's the other thing, though. It's this is the summer one.
Sure. Like I said, I feel bad for the smaller companies and developers and indies or whatever that use that for networking and things like that. But
well, they can.
I mean, now you have other ways to do it. So
yeah,
LinkedIn, baby.
That's it. Did you guys see the? What was I gonna say here? The oh Jesus, I lost my train of thought. That I was gonna go with. Shoot.
CD Projekt Red got cyber attacked.
Yeah.
And I saw that today, but there was another thing that came out today. I was like, I just had it queued up. Where did it go? Ugh. Shoot. Yes, they got attacked. I know that. And I'm sorry, I'm still kind of scrolling through looking for my note that I wrote. I had it.
They had like a ransom note left, and apparently they got The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk's source code that they could leak somewhere.
Whatever.
I'm not sure what that would do, but whatever.
Fuck CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, I want them to get to work on this.
Oh, did you hear the news that? I mean, there's rumors Silent Hill is actually happening. We didn't talk about that last week.
Don't care. Don't believe it until it happens.
We had a freaking teaser for it, man.
Oh, I know. We had a demo. We had a demo for it years ago. And then let's see.
EA is going to decide Anthem's fate this week.
That's true. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think the fate of Anthem is in a good spot because if we're hearing about it that way, I don't think it's
weird.
Good.
It's weird that we are hearing about it at all.
Yes.
Before they decide what to do, but yeah, it's Anthem 2.0 or whatever the hell they were saying. Can you imagine them going ahead with it at this point, or is this going to be it? Do we all think this is going to be it?
It's it. I don't see them.
Yeah. You know, I did watch the trailer for Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm kind of hyped.
I mean,
there's 3 good games in there.
Games, but yeah.
You know what, like, guys?
Little into it.
Mass Effect 2 is like, like, the more you think back on it, the more it's like, I mean, how many times we've talked about this game on this podcast?
Sure.
And I just, it's such a major game. It's like maybe like the best game that I've played myself of all time. Like obviously there's Zelda and stuff like that, but I'm not saying it is. But it's in the top games up there. You know what I mean? So it's like
which game?
The Mass Effect 2. So like the fact that they're remaking it and it looks good. I mean, I watched the trailer and I watched some like comparison shots. Like I think it looks really good what they've done. I'm kind of psyched to play Legendary
Still
Edition.
plays well. I played the 360 version.
They're taking like the HUD from 2 is across all games now because 2 is the most loved HUD. So they moved that to 3 and 1, and they've also changed combat to be more throughout. You know, 1 was different. 1 had the overheating weapons. They got rid of that. I don't know, but it's possible. It's possible.
Maybe that'll be the big surprise.
No, it's a big surprise so they can spawn their own Mass Effect 4.
I think they said that they would do the director's cut or whatever ending by
if they
default.
didn't do that, that'd be ridiculous. Because
but you know, I wonder if going back, because I'm a little interested in this as well. If going back to it, because I didn't see the director's cut ending, because when that happened, I went back to Mass Effect 3 and I started to try to play like at least the end game stuff again, and I couldn't do it. I'm just like, I was too like drained by the way the ending was before. It's like I don't care about this world right now, and I couldn't do it. So I hope now, this many years removed, I'm able to not feel drained from the ending still. But it's still there a little bit looming. Like
no, it's just we're talking to an ex, man. It's like after years, you're like, oh, maybe I could talk with him. And you're like, no.
You can't go back again.
No, but
hey man, I love those games still. They're still some of my favorites.
No, I mean, obviously, like Mass Effect 2 is probably a top 5 all time game.
And you can't argue. Mass Effect 3's gameplay was.
No, I've said this.
I argued every single time.
But once you get there, like the sort of looming like sense of dread over is like, well, here's where it all ends, and like it's not going to be satisfying. Like I don't know if I'll be able to do it again. Like I'll feel it as soon as we roll over from 2 to 3. I'll feel it.
Just play it too. You'll be fine.
Do you like getting quests from just overhearing NPCs in the Citadel? Is that good gameplay?
Isn't it how all quests are given? Oh, hey, you need some help? Sure, I'll help you out. I'm Commander Shepard.
I approve
you like
this,
those,
and I endorse this weapons shop.
Yeah. And how about how every single mission had like, oh, somebody needs to hack this console, defend them from the horde until they can hack it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Jesus fucking Christ.
Did you see that story too, where like Andromeda was supposed to have like a bunch of other new races, alien races, but they cut them. They cut them because
they didn't have a budget.
No, they cut them because they were afraid the cosplayers wouldn't be able to cosplay them.
That was a factor.
That's a bunch of shit. They didn't have the money.
That was a factor.
No, I mean I'm sure they.
That's stupid. Because if there's one thing that cosplayers could do,
the fact that they didn't want to have them in for cosplayers more so than they didn't have the money, because they made a freaking terrible game in Anthem, threw like hundreds of millions of dollars at that game. I bet you they had money for it. They just wanted to cut it.
That's dumb as shit because cosplayers love the challenge aspect.
Sure,
I don't think there's a single character that exists
I would believe that
hasn't been
way more. Just because that's how stupid. Like,
I need to see some Blasto the Henar.
I mean, some of these cosplay, oh man, like some of like the Metal Gear cosplayer like stuff I've seen is like ridiculous. So yeah, I would totally think that cosplayers would be like, all right, hold my beer kind of thing, instead of oh no, it's so difficult.
When I think about what Mass Effect content I haven't played, it would be I guess the Citadel DLC, because again I was at the point where I don't feel like going back. I'm curious. Apparently that's pretty good stuff, so I'd be interested in that.
I enjoyed it. I played. That's the stuff I picked. I mean, I love playing all that stuff. Like,
I'd have to see if it, the sense of dread doesn't get to me too much once we go into Mass Effect 3.
You're right though. Like that Mass Effect 3 ending is going to be always weighing on you. Once you start 3, you're like here comes that awesome. Like the original thought for me was like, oh man, I get that mission, the end mission in Mass Effect 2, which was the cool. Like I loved that last sequence with building the team. And
my God, it's so easy. Like they say, oh, it's impossible to tie up all these threads. Why can't you just do that ending?
Just do it.
Like, do it again. Like obviously, like
it's the amount of permutations that unfortunately they put themselves in a corner. I agree. I wish we had that. I would love the game way more than I do if they had that. But the choices where like you have to consider for every single character. There's different outcomes on like how did you handle them? Are they positive towards you or negative towards you? Are they even still alive? And like tying that into like, hey, well, if this character is needed for the story, that's why there are a lot of characters on 2 that just are NPCs. They're not even playable characters this time around. It's like that. Yeah. So I understand where they're coming from, but they should have figured that out. They should have.
Yeah.
Well, they said they were gonna, and they didn't deliver on that promise. That's the biggest thing.
BioWare not delivering on their promises. That's new. Yeah. I've never heard that. That's their company motto at this point.
Yeah, I don't think they're the same people anymore.
I think BioWare with Mass Effect Legendary Edition has a unique opportunity to start to rebuild some credibility, like to get themselves back.
Well, again, this is
the game that was released 10 years ago.
Yeah, no way to. GTA 5 all over, man. Really, cash in on your game. Cash the game in that gets you on the map.
Well, it's there mostly to sort of.
Hold on. There's a big difference between GTA 5 and any Mass Effect game. GTA 5 still was critically acclaimed when it came out in 2013. Still critically acclaimed.
Sure.
And it never left the charts. Never.
Okay.
And it's a sandbox, man. You just go in there and do whatever.
And honestly, GTA Online is a big reason why.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got you.
Get those shark cards, man. There's no shark cards in Mass Effect.
I mean, but they tried to do that. Again with that excellent gameplay of
people love that. People love that too.
I did like the multiplayer.
People did like that. I didn't care for it because that's not what I want to do in a Mass Effect game, but people really like that multiplayer too. They're actually
the war
points or something. I don't even know.
This is dumb as shit.
No. Is it Galactic Readiness? Is that
maybe that was it.
Well, yeah. So they sold us on that too. Like that was going to be like the previous game. Like, you need a certain amount to get the good.
Oh yeah, and this is not even in this fucking version of the game. They took it out.
Well, it's just one of the ways to bring it up. Yeah, but people are pissed off that none of the multiplayer is in this. That's one of the complaints. Whatever. But
and my relationship with BioWare has ended. You guys can continue being suckered if you want and giving them your money.
I'm not suckered. I liked those games. I haven't played.
I enjoyed Andromeda. I've
not played an Dragon Age game. Not played any of their Anthem. I played. I guess I did demo Anthem.
I tried Dragon Age. It just sucked.
Even remember Anthem. I called bullshit that first CGI trailer.
Oh, I know you did.
I was like, no, fucking no way. No way in hell will that ever look like that.
That was like the Division trailer. It was like that. That's what gave me vibes of the Division trailer. I was like, there's no way this game is gonna look like this, or play like that. It's just all scripted.
Yeah. No, I mean, the thing about Mass Effect is like I've been like missing that for a while. Like that's why I played Dragon Age Inquisition. I had no previous like familiarity really with the franchise at all, and I just knew it was the BioWare type like story game, and the gameplay was almost non-existent in that game. It was bad, but I went through it and liked it enough just because I was like jonesing for that BioWare stuff.
Because that won Game of the Year too. Like what the heck?
No, I don't really understand. Like the fighting in that game is literally like press attack. You're like swinging some magic wand in your hand, and little shit shoots off and hones in. Like you don't do anything in that game.
Like, it's such a terrible fucking game, man.
But I still played it and liked it enough to get to the end because it had that BioWare like world building character stuff. So that definitely. And nothing's really done that since then.
Hey man,
well, not to mention
there is. It's just on PC, man. Or now they've come to Xbox. You should try like Divinity Sin 2. Like it's not as AAA, but like if you want that Western RPG with characters and like different things happening, and like different outcomes and options.
I mean that's kind of what Witcher 3 was a little bit.
Yeah,
it's not quite as much and. It's and even less what Cyberpunk is, which is why people are pissed off.
Yeah. Or like the new Baldur's Gate 3, that's going to offer that same thing. It's just you gotta look for it. You just can't rely on this same vendor that has been selling you shit for 10 years.
Yeah, but like most of what they've had.
Shit.
Yeah. I don't know. All right.
Also, Blizzard said that Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 are probably not coming out 2020.
Good. Fuck Blizzard 2. Fuck them.
It's a great finish to a podcast episode. Fuck BioWare, fuck Blizzard. But I'll tell you, I've heard good things so far about the Diablo mobile game. People are actually enjoying it.
It's funny. I actually had an argument with somebody that they were like, who asked for Diablo mobile? I'm like, almost every other game has a fucking mobile version, and millions of people play that. Like, why are you saying who's asking for that? Just because it's like not the hardcore ass fucking nerds that are like, ugh, Diablo 4, you're definitely not working on it if you're not announcing it. It's like, really? You can't comprehend that you're possibly working on a game that they haven't officially announced.
Can you explain to me though how Overwatch 2 is not going to make it this year? Like, it doesn't feel like they're doing a lot to make it a 2. So it's like, is it because of the Overwatch League they're not going to release it? Is it just so you don't have to worry about the meta?
The understanding I heard, and this is all hearsay and rumor and stuff like that, but the Overwatch team put a lot of resources into going to the esports route because Blizzard wanted to make that a huge success.
Different reasons,
right? Okay. And now they're trying to focus on the Overwatch 2 aspect, which will have more of the PvE content and stuff like that. Because unfortunately, when what's his name, Jeff, promised Overwatch, he's like, Jeff Kaplan. Which that makes good enough, but fuck Blizzard, fuck Acty Blizzard.
I mean, it's my bold prediction. It's like there's no way Overwatch 2 comes out this year, and
there we go.
Yeah. Cool.
It's scheduled a couple months from now too. So
we have we have some bold predictions that are hitting already. It's amazing. It's February.
It's quick.
COVID time. So maybe we gotta have like a halfway one, just be like, hey, we need new ones because
let's update. We've hit these all.
We're ahead of our predictions, boys.
So all right, let's gonna wrap up 532 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. We appreciate it. We appreciate the subscribers. Hit the like, hit the notifications button, and we'll see you guys next week.